Let's see how we are going to evaluate this double integral here. Here, R is the ellipse bounded by this equation in the first quadrant. Now have a look on the inside. 9x squared plus 4y squared, which is this part of the equation. Unfortunately, this is not x squared plus y squared because otherwise we could just use the regular polar coordinates. But this right here is not so bad either because of course, this right here we can look at it as 3x and then squared, and this right here is the same as 2y and then squared. So, what we would like to do is put the inside 3x, make that equal to r cosine theta, and then for the 2y, make that equal to r sine theta. So just imagine that this is like a new variable, like that's a new variable, and then you still have the regular polar coordinates, that kind of thing. But you can just do like this as well. Now, perhaps just for like a review and all the good stuff, let me just do this in all details for you guys. Of course, if you have done this a few times, you can see some shortcuts. But anyways, right here, divide both sides by 3. X is equal to 1/3 r cosine theta. Divide both sides by 2. Y is equal to 1/2 r sine theta. Now, have a look right here. We can square both sides, square both sides, square both sides, square both sides. This right here gives us the inside 9x squared plus 4y squared. Here, that will be equal to r squared times cosine squared theta plus r squared times sine squared theta. We can factor out the r squared. And then cosine squared plus sine squared is just equal to 1. So on the inside, we will just get r squared. So that's pretty much the polar coordinates. So now, let's go ahead, go to the r theta world. Here we have sine, and then on the inside, we have r squared. And then don't forget the Jacobian. The usual polar coordinates, we need the r, but here, because we have the 1/3 and also the 1/2 factors, you just multiply them. 1/3 times 1/2 is 1/6, and then you have the r. So this right here is the Jacobian. Technically, you apply the absolute value, and then you have dr d theta. And as I said, I'm going to give you guys all the details in this video. So let's review how to do the Jacobian real quick. Look at the x and y equation. We have partial xy, partial r theta. This is the Jacobian notation, which is defined as the determinant of partial of x with respect to r, partial of x with respect to theta, partial of y with respect to r, partial of y with respect to theta. Now look at the x equation, take the derivative with respect to r, that'll just give us 1, so we get 1/3 cosine theta. Look at this, take the partial with respect to theta, we get negative sine theta here, so that's negative 1/3 r sine theta. Continue, do the partial with respect to r, just 1, so 1/2 sine theta. Lastly, this right here gives us cosine, and then we have the 1/2 r cosine theta. Okay, as you can see, when we do this times that, that's 1/6. And then we have cosine squared. And then with the r, so I'll put the r right here, 1/6 r cosine squared theta. Minus this times that, that's negative, so it becomes positive, and then 1/6 again, another r sine squared theta. Okay, factor out the 1/6 r. Cosine squared plus sine squared gives us 1. So as I said, this right here is the Jacobian that goes right here. Very nice. Now, look at the r. Have a look. This thing is exactly our r squared. You can take the square roots on both sides, but it's just going to be 1. And remember, it's 0 to 1 because we are in the first quadrant only, 0 to 1. And I'll just put that right here. And if not, if it's the whole ellipse, you can still do 0 to 1. You just have to be careful with the selection of your theta. Now, because it's in the first quadrant, it will just go from 0 to pi over 2. So that's all. So that will be the integral that we have to compute. Now let's just go ahead and finish that. So we have 1 over 6, it's just a constant multiple. Let's go ahead and put that all the way to the front. And we can separate the integrals because the inside here is just with r, and then I will just multiply with the integral with the theta. So look at the integral from 0 to pi over 2, and we have d theta, because there's no theta in the function here. So we can do that, and then we multiply by, let's do this one in blue, the integral going from 0 to 1, and we have r. R is positive, so we don't need the absolute value anymore. And then we have sine of r squared, and then that is dr. So we have 1 over 6. And then integrating this, the result is just going to be pi over 2. Now, for this integral, I will just do this on the side for you guys. Do a u sub, let u equal r squared. Then we see du is equal to 2r dr, and then dr equals du over 2r. Now take this integral to the u world. R goes from 0 to 1. If you put 0 in here, we get u is equal to 0. If you put 1 in here, u is equal to 1. And then we have the r, sine of r squared, which is the u. And dr is this. As you can see, r and r cancel. So 1/2. Integrating sine, we get negative cosine. And then we have the u. And we have to plug in 0 and 1. Plugging 1, we have negative 1/2, and just keep it as cosine of 1. This is the first term, minus the second term, plugging 0. So we have 1/2 and a negative cosine of 0. But this cosine of 0 is just equal to 1. So now, I will write this down right here. We have negative 1/2 cosine of 1, and then plus 1/2. That's pretty much it. And then finally, you can just factor out the 1/2 and then multiply everything. Pi on the top, 2 times this 2, and then times 6, altogether we get 24. And then this right here, we have negative cosine of 1, and then plus 1. Yep, just like this. And we're done.